And three, two, uno. Hey, Chanel, ask you a question. While you sitting there laughing, let me ask you a question. Um, what would you do if your children went against your wishes and put you in a car with the ex, knowing that you didn't want to be with them anyway? No answer? Let's go then. Boom. All right. Welcome, everybody. Hey, we're not going to take up too much of your time. But before we get started, make sure you hit that like, subscribe, and notification button so you know when we're coming back with the Back and Forth Show and bringing you these things for the co-parents, because we know you all probably like listen to this information. So, the topic today, Chanel, is this. I ran across something on the interweb, and I want to put it up here in the middle. I want to see what your thoughts are. It said this right here. It said, my kids are always looking for excuses to get their dad and me together. Last time, because my car broke down, they thought it was just fine for all of us to drive 50 miles together to watch our daughter's violin recital. I think it's weird. I'd rather stay home than drive with their dad anywhere. And I told them so. I think exes are exes for a reason. And in my case, the reason was he's a loser. I suppose you think I'm wrong, so let me hear it. So, Chanel, I'm going to give this to you so you can let her hear it first. And then I'll jump in. What say you on this topic?
Oh wow. So first of all, we would have to establish some ground rules.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First of all, ain't nobody putting me anywhere. Okay. If I happen to end up in this car, it's because I chose to be there. However, because my daughter's violin recital is important to me and I need transportation to get there, I think I can be a little uncomfortable to make sure that I show up for my daughter. Um, I do know that situations can be different, and exes can be petty, and a lot of crazy stuff can be going on. So I think before getting into this type of situation, I would definitely want to set some ground rules with my ex just to make sure that it is a pleasant ride for our children. However, if we cannot come to an agreement with that, then I would need to look at a backup plan because I am going to show up for my daughter. What you think about that, Kev?
Oh, is it my turn?
Oh yeah.
Let me give him some water.
You know that people want to hear what you got to say.
Um, so, if you if I told my kids that this is a weird situation and I don't want to be in it, and they thought it was cute and funny for us to be together in the car because they want us to get back together, then there's got to be some conversation had between me and my children to understand that I felt this way for a reason. There's a
Mm-hmm.
reason, like she said, there's a reason why they are exes. And her reason
Mm-hmm.
was valid to her because he was a loser. Now we know
Mm-hmm.
over time things may change. Person, they can change and become a better person. But at this time in her life, she wants no part of it. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, while the violin recital is important to the children and to the family,
Mm-hmm.
somewhere down the line we're gonna have to let our feelings be known to let them know we ain't playing. Because I could have caught an Uber for all that. I mean, I know it's
For
50
50
miles.
miles?
Hey man, it might be worth the cost to not be in a car for 50 miles with somebody who you probably can't stand. You know,
Yeah.
we communicate for a reason. Maybe their relationship is I communicate with you via text or email, that's or
Mm-hmm.
phone calls when need be. I don't want anything else to do
Mm-hmm.
with you. But
Mm-hmm.
the children might not understand that. And in this situation
Yeah.
right here, it's probably right now the children probably don't understand that mom and dad are not together for a reason. And it might be
Mm-hmm.
young or it might be in between the age where they don't get they can't read the room. You know what I'm saying? They can't read the room. They can't
Mm-hmm.
understand that mom doesn't want to be around dad for a
Mm-hmm.
reason. And so
Mm-hmm.
I heard what you said. You said some very, very nice, pleasant words. Very nice, pleasant words. You might have to sacrifice for the thing. What's 50 miles? 50 miles is 49 miles further than I want to be with somebody if I didn't want to be with them in the car in the first place. That's 1 mile that's 1 mile that I didn't want to be in the car, and 49 more that I didn't want. I'd rather walk. Now I know our community out there say, hey, that's not nice. You can't say that. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Chanel, you sitting there with your nice little face on. I want to hear what you got to say about that. Because then rebut that.
Well, I will, because I hear you, because I do know that there's some nasty situations out there, and I'm not saying that all cases fit into this little pretty little box with a bow on it. What I am saying though is that in the co-parenting arena, we know that we have to sacrifice plenty of times for the sake of our children, and so I guess reading this and trying to grasp the gravity of why the daughters want or the children want the parents back together. Perhaps it may be that the ex is pretending or very, puts on a show in front of the children so that it looks like it would be the perfect family if the parents got together. I don't know. However, what I do know is that sometimes we do sacrifice, but then there's times where that sacrifice can be detrimental. Like if they got into this car and they're traveling for 50 miles and he's very disrespectful, unreasonable, it can do more damage than good. So I am open to that concept that if it's going to do more damage than good, then no, do the Uber thing or find some other way. But what I will say is try to make it to the recital. Okay, try to make it to the recital. Don't allow him going or him driving the girls or whatever the case may be to keep you, because she did say in this message that she'd rather stay home. And so that's the point that I'm trying to make. Don't miss out on your children's events and things like that because you still mad at the ex. Don't give them that much power. Don't give them that kind of power at all. Is what I'm saying.
And that's a good point. Don't take what I said, because I said a lot of my stuff in jest. That's JEST, not just. In jest. Because the point I'm trying to get across this, you as co-parents, no one said that you have to commit to things with the other parent if you're not comfortable. However, for the sake of your children, you may have to sacrifice a little bit of your, I don't want to say well-being, because, we talk about self-care a lot too. You can sit on opposite sides of the room. You want to have the appearance that your children understand that my mom and dad are here, or my mom and mommy, or my dad and daddy, whoever. So my parents are here. But what I need you to understand is this right here. If a person makes you feel uncomfortable, do not put yourself in that environment, because that 50 miles of riding in a car with somebody just to get to the recital because you don't want to miss a child's recital, that 50 miles could make you make you have a setback in whatever it is that you're going through right now. Because maybe you have gone through an abusive relationship with someone and you kept that quiet from your children. So to be put back in that environment as if everything's okay, because those people out there who have abused you or who are narcissists or who are just plain ugly to people, you put them back in an environment with you and they feel that they got you again. And you give them that control. You need to take that control back. And this mother here in her situation, we don't know all the backstory behind it. And she was waiting for some smoke because she said, let me hear. She suppose she's wrong. No, from her standpoint, she is not wrong. It's just that nobody else understands it. Unless somebody was there with them day in, day out, and knew what their situation was, nobody gonna understand the situation. But we try to do what's best for our children. And sometimes we sacrifice ourselves for our children. And a lot of parents do that. Do not sacrifice your joy. Don't let nobody steal your joy. Because 50 miles might steal this mother's joy, and she may not be able to get it back for a long time. Because what if he pops off in the car and says something? And now she's stuck with this and biting her tongue, biting her lip, and she can't say anything. So,
Those are great points. Very great
Yeah,
points.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
those
could
are
be the
some very good
contrarian,
points.
Chanel, but I don't want to make light of it either because somebody's going through this
Hmm.
right now. Somebody's going
Yeah.
through this, and the last
Yeah.
thing they want is to hear that somebody say, "Well, just get in the car and ride." No, it's not that easy for some
Yeah.
people. Some people might get the shakes. You might
Yeah.
get the highs, break out in cold sweat.
Don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. And really that is, and you made a really great point. You gotta make sure that you're judging this decision based on the barometer of, is this going to take a piece of my happiness today or not?
Mhm.
Is this sacrifice going to be for the greater good, and am I still going to have joy at the end of this or not? And if it's taking, like Kev said, if it's taking away your joy, it's taking away your peace, to the extent that you're going to have to do some rehabilitation after the fact, then no, don't sacrifice your healing process, for anybody.
That's right.
For anybody. Okay, I'll just put it at that, like that. Don't sacrifice your healing process for anybody. And again, we don't know the full story of this.
Mhm.
Like I said, at the end of the day, though, if you are going through a healing process and this is going to set you back, then there's other alternatives. That's all we're
Yes.
saying.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, that 50 miles might be like, say, 49 miles too far. Because at the end of the day, what I want you all to do is be moisturized and unbothered.
Yes, yes, yes. That's how I go to bed every night. Okay, yes, yes.
Because we don't want you to be ashy and stressed.
That's terrible, terrible,
Ooh, Chanel,
terrible.
Chanel.
We didn't get divorced and they're single parents to be ashy and stressed. That is not
Yes,
cool
yes.
or cute.
Well, Chanel, you've done it again. Another great week, another great topic, man. This is a good one. Hey, Chanel, you know what I'm going to tell the people? I'm going to tell the people to stay safe and be blessed. And what you got?
And I'm saying, put God first in everything you do. Stay safe, but make sure you put God first in everything and every decision you do, just for the sake of your kids.
That's right,
That's
because you don't
it.
want to do that. Because if you don't do it, you can be sitting in the car for 50 miles too far, and then you want to know how to get there because you don't want to get back in the car when to go back home. And now you got to take that Uber, and that's all I got for y'all today. We out.